Hi there. Did your narcissistic and emotionally abusive partner tell you how wonderful they were? Did they keep telling you how lucky you were to have them? And did they do that in between telling you that you were a pretty worthless wife, mother, lover, and human being? My name is Annie Casina, and I have recovered from living with a wonderful partner, and I now help other women recover from the damage done by living with a wonderful partner and making sense of what they've been through. In this video, we're going to be looking at wonderful partner syndrome. Now, most of the time, these partners sound so persuasive and they speak with such disregard for your value as a human being that you end up believing them. Even if you end up feeling as if there's a kind of war going on in your brain, that your brain's split into two halves and one half is saying, it's true, they are absolutely wonderful and I'm so lucky to have them and I'd never find anyone as wonderful as them again. While the other part is saying, this person is just so heartless. Is it really okay for someone who's meant to be my partner to attack and insult me like that? With your brain telling you two different stories, more or less at the same time, it's no wonder that you find it incredibly difficult to react, that you feel quite immobilized and confused. Theoretically, when they start bad-mouthing you, the whole scenario should play out the way it does in the movies. This should be the moment when you draw yourself up to your full height and say, you know what, I am so done with you, you shabby, pathetic, bullying, disgusting excuse for a partner. It is over. O-V-E-R. Sadly, reality doesn't play out like that. Rather, all that internal debate, coupled with a strong sense of the injustice that your partner is doing you, paralyzes you. And that is just what your narcissistic and emotionally abusive partner wants. Now, you may be wondering, does my narcissistic and emotionally abusive partner really believe what they're saying? And that question sums up, in a nutshell, everything that sets the two of you apart. You have a big issue with truth. You try to be as honest as you possibly can be. For you, that's a part of showing up as a good enough human being and being lovable. A narcissistic and abusive partner, on the other hand, prides himself or herself on something completely different. They pride themselves on being wonderful. What makes them wonderful? That's pretty simple. They're wonderful because they say so. The word of the narcissistic and abusive partner is meant to be your law and your truth. Do they have to do anything to earn the right to call themselves wonderful? Or whatever other words they use to describe their own superior form of humanity? Not as far as I can tell. It does not matter in the slight if they have let themselves run to seed, if their professional attainment cannot compare to yours, if they don't have a friend in the world or even a tooth in their head. They are always infinitely superior to you in every possible way. In their own eyes, of course. Anything that they are or they do is worth 1,000 times more than anything you can ever say or do. You see, this is the point at which so many partners of narcissists and emotional abusers let themselves disappear down the rabbit hole trying to understand their partner. They ask, but if my partner has such an inflated and unrealistic idea of their own worth and importance, does that mean that they have a mental health problem? Increasingly, my response to that question is, oh, do you want to be their mental health professional? Largely, the mental health problem question suggests to me that the partner of the narcissist and emotional abuser wants not just an explanation, but cast iron proof of why they should leave, or more likely, why they should stay. Because if someone has a serious problem, it would be really wrong to leave them in the lurch, wouldn't it? When the right thing to do is to stay, isn't it? Allegedly. If self-sacrifice with absolutely no return on the investment of your life, your sanity, your health, and your identity is your thing, then staying represents a damned good option. If, on the other hand, you feel troubled by that voice in your head that says, look, I don't want to reach the end of my life without knowing what it is like to feel genuinely happy and loved by someone, and without knowing what it's like to feel safe in my skin around a partner. If that matters to you, then staying ceases to be an option. You don't really want to be the lifetime punchbag of a so-called wonderful partner whose wonderfulness consists of knocking you down over and over again. That's my initial response to the mental health problem question. Still, for a lot of people where there is even the hint of a justification of an excuse for their partner's toxic behavior, they'll cling to their hope of the outside chance materializing. Why shouldn't their frog morph into love's young dream, or love's not so young dream, or even love's horribly dented dream with permanent mental health problems? These people need to run their hope past reality and ask themselves 3 questions. First, can their narcissistic and emotionally abusive partner function in the outside world? We're not talking about functioning perfectly here, we're simply talking about functioning. If they can function in the outside world, then they are likely no crazier than an awful lot of the population. They may well be nastier, but that doesn't make them significantly crazier. Unless you're willing to make the same excuses for and justify the same levels of abuse and ill treatment from everyone else whose functioning is less than perfect, starting with yourself, why would you make a narcissistic and abusive partner a special case? Question number 2. Do they subject everyone indiscriminately to the same level of psyche bashing and celebration of their own wonderfulness? Or do they reserve most of their outrageous self-aggrandizement and ill-treatment for you? Would they make the same claims at work, to managers, bosses, and other authority figures? Or are they smart enough not to? Because if they are smart enough to watch their mouths where it matters, that tells you all that you need to know. Third, can you personally reconcile being wonderful with being a lying, cruel, destructive, manipulative jerk? If the answer is no, and I'm guessing that the answer is no, then I invite you to see all their wonderfulness signaling in a whole new light. I urge you to see that wonderfulness in the light of a very, very big red flag. Nobody has the right to be wonderful at your expense. That is very abusive, extremely narcissistic, and incredibly damaging to you. If you found this video useful, Please like it and share it, and there will be another one coming along soon. Bye for now.